Today we are going to be using Bernat Home Deck yarn, which is great for the project that we're doing today. We are also going to be using a 6mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and then a key ring, or like a little keychain, whatever you've got. So to get started on our plant hanger, we are going to start with a magic circle. And I've shown you guys how to do a magic circle on my previous scrubby video, so I'll put that up there so you can head on over to that video if you need a more in-depth look at how to do this. So I'm just going to do this right now. Again, you guys can slow it down if you need some help, but I'm not going to be going through this step by step this time. Okay, there we go. So we're going to chain up 3, and that was our first chain right there. So that's 1, this is 2, and 3. And now what we're going to be doing is making 5 puff stitches in our magic circle. So I'll show you that right now. We're going to yarn over, insert your hook through the circle, yarn over, pull through, and then pull up to match the height of that chain 3. Then we're going to do that again. Yarn over, pull through, and pull up. Okay, and we'll do it once more. Alright, and once we have that, we are going to now have 7 loops on our hook, so we're going to yarn over and pull through all 7. Alright, and then we're going to chain 1, and let's create another puff stitch. First, I'm going to tighten this a little bit just to make it easier on myself. Okay, so it's going to be the exact same technique we just did. So we're going to yarn over, go through the circle, yarn over, pull through, and pull up to match the height of the previous puff stitch. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull up. And then one last time, yarn over, go through, yarn over, and pull up. And you'll now have 7 loops on your hook. So once we have that, we're going to yarn over, pull through all 7. And then we're going to chain 1 again. So I'm going to make 3 more of these in this magic circle over here, and I will come back and show you guys how to join them once I'm done. Okay, so now we have our 5 puff stitches. So I'm just going to pull this tail end tight to bring them all together. And to join this, we are just going to skip this chain 3 right here, and we're going to make a slip stitch into that very first stitch right there. Okay, so we are going to insert our hook, yarn over and pull through that stitch, and then pull through the loop on our hook as well, and that's a slip stitch. Alright, so the first round is now done. And for the second round, we are going to chain up 3. And we are going to actually make our first puff stitch into that very same stitch that we just made the chain 3. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through and up, then yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through and up, and then once more. Okay, so we now have the 7 loops on our hook, so we're going to yarn over and pull through all 7. Alright, let's make our chain 1. And the next puff stitch is actually going to go into this chain 1 space right here. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing. Going to keep yarning over and pulling through until we have 7 loops on our hook. Alright, we've got 7 right here, so we're going to yarn over, pull through all of those, and then chain 1. Okay, so we're just going to keep making puff stitches on top of our previous puff stitches and also in the chain 1 spaces. So once we are done with all of those, we should have 10 puff stitches in this round. Alright, so we're almost done with round 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to make our chain 1, and then make sure to go into that last chain 1 space to get your 10th puff stitch. All right, and now we have our 10 puff stitches. So to join this round, we're going to go into the first stitch that we made, skipping the chain 3. And again, we're just going to make a slip stitch like we did in the first round. All right, and that's the end of round 2. So for round 3, we are going to chain up 3. And we are going to be making our puff stitches only in the previous puff stitches, not in the chain 1 spaces like before. Okay, so our first puff stitch is going to go into that same stitch as our chain 3. Okay, pull through all 7. And now the only difference here is that we are chaining up 4 rather than 1, because this is going to be the start of the mesh part of our hanger. Alright, so now we are going to go into the top of the next puff stitch and make yet another puff stitch. Okay, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up and through. We're going to continue doing this until we have 7 loops on our hook again. Alright, pull through all of them. And again, we're chaining 4 instead of 1 like we have been doing. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and we're going to continue doing this all the way around, making puff stitches on top of the previous puff stitches only, and then chaining up 4. So I'm just going to finish this up, and I will meet you guys at the end to show you how to join the rounds. Okay, so we now have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 puff stitches. So let's finish this off with the 10th puff stitch. Okay, remember to chain up 4. Alright, and then let's insert for our last puff stitch. Alright, and we're going to chain up 4 again, and we're getting ready to join the round. Okay, so we're going to join it into that very first stitch, and we're joining it with a slip stitch like normal. Okay, and to start round 4, we need to make a slip stitch into this first chain 4 space right here. Okay, so we're going to insert a hook, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, just pull through the other one. Okay, then we're going to chain up 1, and we're also going to make 1 single crochet in this same chain 4 space. Alright, now for round 4, we are going to be chaining up 4 and making 1 single crochet into the next chain 4 space. Alright, so let's chain up those 4, and then insert your hook into the next chain 4 space, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Okay, and we're going to continue doing this all the way around. We're going to be chaining up 4 and then going into the next chain 4 space and making a single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this round, and once I do, I will meet you guys back at the end and show you how to join this round together. Alright, so we are almost done with round 4 here. And to join this round, we are going to slip stitch into that very first chain 1 space, okay, right there. So we are going to chain up 4, and then slip stitch into that very first chain 1 space. Okay, so insert your hook there, yarn over and pull through that stitch and also the loop on your hook. Alright, so now we are going to make a slip stitch into the next chain 4 space, chain up 1, and then make 1 single crochet into that same space. Alrighty, there we go. And now I'm pausing for a moment because if you need to keep track of where your rounds start, then I would suggest putting a stitch marker in the chain 1 space at the beginning of each round. I'm not using them here because I rarely use stitch markers, but if it makes it easier for you, then by all means, please do it. Okay, so we're going to continue doing this same pattern from the last round. So that means we are going to chain up 4, and then make a single crochet into the next chain 4 space. Alright, then chain up 4 again, and make a single crochet into the next chain 4 space. And I will come back once I'm done with this round, and I will show you how to join this one last time. Alright, so let's chain up our last 4, and then make our slip stitch into that first chain 1. Alright, there's the chain 1 right there. Gonna insert our hook and make a slip stitch. Alright, so round 5 is now complete, and we're going to repeat this chain 4 single crochet pattern until we reach 6 rows of mesh stitches. Alright, and we've just finished our 6 rows of mesh stitches. That's a tongue twister. To finish this off, all we're going to do is chain 1. Alright, chain 1, and then get our scissors and cut. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull through, and there we are. Okay, so we are now done with our body portion, and I will show you what it's starting to look like. Got a little pot right here. Okay, yeah, it's complete with dirt. All right. So this is obviously going to be sliding down until we get the hanging portion of the planter attached. So let's just get started with that. Okay, so now we are going to take our little metal key ring, and I'm going to take the yarn and just make a knot. I'm actually going to knot it twice for extra security because we are going to be hanging stuff from this. Okay, so we are now going to take our hook and insert it into the middle of the ring. And then we are going to grab our yarn and pull through. All right, so we are going to be chaining up 60 right now. And these are going to be the chains in which our hanger essentially hangs from. Okay, so I am going to finish chaining up this 60. And then I will show you how to attach this onto the body of our hanger. Alright, so we've just finished the 60 chains right here, and I've also marked every stitch that I'm going to work the chains into. So what I've done is I've started from the first single crochet from the last round right here, and I put my first stitch marker in the next single crochet. Then I skipped 2, and put another stitch marker in that next stitch. Then we skip 1 again and put another stitch marker in the next one, and then skip 1, 2, and put our last stitch marker in the next single crochet. So it's going to be skip 1, stitch marker, skip 2, stitch marker, skip 1, stitch marker, and then skip 2, stitch marker. Might be a little confusing, I'm sorry about that. But what I'm going to do is take out my first stitch marker, and we're going to take our chain and insert a hook from front to back in that single crochet space. Okay, so this is our working yarn, and I already cut it because I'm refilming this portion, so it would normally be attached to your skein. Alright, so we are just going to yarn over and pull through both to make a slip stitch, and then I am going to make a chain 1. And this is where you would normally take your scissors and cut your yarn, but I already did that. So I'm just going to pull through and pull tight. Okay, and this is how it is going to start looking. So I'm going to continue doing this exact same thing, and we are always going to start by knotting this twice on the ring here. Okay, so when we take our yarn and make our second chain, we are going to do this on the left-hand side of our first chain. Sorry if it's a little bit difficult to see right now. I'm looking through the viewfinder, so it's a little bit difficult for me to see. Okay, I'm just going to move that down here. And then we're going to take our hook, insert it into the middle of the ring, grab our yarn and pull through like we did with the first one. Alright, and then we are going to chain up 60 again. So I'm going to finish chaining up 60 and I will show you once more how to attach. Okay, so now that we've finished chaining the next 60 chains, make sure to rotate your body portion to the right. And we're doing this because we have been attaching our chains on the left-hand side of the first chain that we made. So this is going to help it just not get twisted. So if you're making the chains the same way I am, you will want to rotate the body of your hanger to the right. Okay, and I'm just going like this to make sure the chain is straight. Okay, so again, we take out our next stitch marker and we are going from front to back just like we did before. All right, grab your working yarn and then just make a slip stitch. All right, we will chain one and then cut and pull through. And I'm also going to recommend that you double knot these as well because you're going to be holding a plant or something a little bit heavier and you want to make sure that it doesn't break. Okay, so I'm going to do this 2 more times until we are finished all the way around. So I will come back once we are finished with this whole thing and show you how to finish it up. Okay, so we have finished attaching these, so the last thing we have to do is make this keyring not so ugly. So what we're going to do is attach our working yarn on the left-hand side of all of our chains. Okay, I'm going to double knot this real quick. Okay, so this is what we have, and oh my god, this looks like an octopus. Oh jeez, okay, let me move this down really fast. Alright, took a little while. So what we're going to do now is insert our hook. Okay, and then we're going to grab the yarn and pull through, and then chain 1. Alright, so now that we have chained 1, all we have to do is grab all these little ends right here. Okay, we're going to put all the ends on top of where we're working. And what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be crocheting around these chains. So to do that, we're going to insert our hook into the ring and under the chain, put our working yarn on top of the chain, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through those two, making a single crochet. And that's all we're going to do with these. So we're going to do that for each of these 4 chains, while always holding on to the little tail ends to weave them in as well. Okay, so again, insert into the ring and under the chain, working yarn over the chain, yarn over and grab the yarn, and then make a single crochet. Okay, and I'm sorry if it's a little difficult to see here. There's just so many little pieces of yarn that we're trying to weave in. Alright, again, insert your yarn under the chain, working yarn over the chain, yarn over, pull under, and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, so we'll do that one last time. Again, making sure all of those tail ends are being worked into the single crochets. Okay, so after we've done the chains, we're just going to be making single crochets all the way around while holding our tail ends to weave them in. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing this right now. And once we are done with that, we're going to want to slip stitch into the very first single crochet that we made. Okay, yarn over and pull through both of those. And then we are just going to want to chain one after all this is worked around. Okay, we're just going to chain one, cut, and then pull through and weave in the end. Alright guys, this is it. This is our finished hanger. I hope you guys enjoyed making this cute little plant hanger with me, and I think it'll be a great gift for friends or family this holiday season. As always, be sure to like and subscribe for more free crochet tutorials. And if you'd like to see the written pattern for this, just head on down to the description box below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.